ya, jadi nanti insya Allah kita akan diskusi bersama-sama jawaban dari setiap soalnya. Yang bisa menyalakan kamera, boleh menyalakan kamera ya. Okay, so can you see the screen I'm sharing to you?
Yes.
Iya, kelihatan.
Can you? Okay. So yeah, everyone, this is it, summarizing the passage. So what is summary actually? Jadi merangkum, ini kita udah sering banget ya, merangkum dari zaman SD, SMP, SMA. But when it happened to the English passage or the English text, menjadi buyar kadang-kadang. Jadi summary itu sederhana sekali. The first definition of summary is a shortened version of an original text or passage. Jadi versi singkatnya dari teks aslinya. And then the second one, it aims to share the main idea by eliminating the irrelevant details. Jadi kalau tadi definisi dari summary itu adalah versi pendek dari teks yang asli, tujuannya adalah untuk membagikan atau memberikan gagasan utama dengan cara apa? Dengan cara mengeliminasi, menyingkirkan details-details yang sebenarnya nggak important, nggak significant. Gitu ya guys. And then, how to summarize the text? Bagaimana caranya? The first one is finding the main idea. Ini udah kita bahas beberapa kali ya. Finding the main idea, finding the main idea. Di pertemuan kemarin udah kita bahas juga ya. Iya nggak sih? Ya kan? Udah kan? Main idea. How to find the main idea? Bagaimana caranya menemukan gagasan utama kemarin? Biasanya dia kata yang berulang. Yap, ya. Biasanya dia kata yang berulang. Kata yang berulang, terus kemudian dia itu suka ada letaknya di awal kalimat. Dan sebenarnya kalau finding main idea itu kita tinggal lihat aja sebenarnya title of the text. Itu tentang apa. Nah, nanti mostly it will talk about that. Oke, kemudian separating general ideas from details. And the last one is identify keywords. Nah, ketiga dari poin ini akan kita bahas melalui video yang akan aku bagikan. Okay, so here we go.
We have that. Do you want to take online classes with a professional?
On the full version of this lesson, which is on our website. You can find the link before you continue watching. Now, let's look at the most important reading strategy you need to use.
Okay, so everyone, this is what I meant by finding the main idea. Please listen up, yeah, everyone.
To understand and summarize a text, you need to find the main idea. Every coherent text has one central idea which connects the different parts of the text. You need to know what this is. But every text is different, and there isn't one way to find the main idea. Instead, you need to look at the whole thing. Here are some things you should look at.
1. Is there a title or headings? These will often highlight the most important points. 2.
Okay, so everyone, itu udah ada clue-nya tadi, how to find the main idea. The first one, the easiest way to get the main idea is just to look for the heading or the title. Ini kita ulas kembali ya, yang finding the main idea-nya ya, karena kita mau summarize the text. Jadi, yang paling mudah adalah if the passage of the text has the title, so that's the main idea. And then the second one.
What is the first sentence about? Often, the first sentence of...
Okay. Yang kedua adalah lihat the first sentence of that text.
Kita buka bareng.
Guys, ada
Kita
yang
buka
belum di
puasa
mute.
bareng. Tapi di rumah
Aku izin mute ya.
dengan hal yang berbeda. Oke. Lagi yang
Atau Pusat itu admin ya? Kakak admin boleh di mute.
Yang hostnya.
Iya. Oke, aku chat kali ya. Udah ya, udah nggak ada suaranya.
Text or paragraph will summarize the main ideas. 3. What does most of the text talk about?
Oke, tadi yang kedua, look for the first sentence. Kemudian yang ketiga adalah apa sih yang berulang kali dibicarakan? Ini yang udah kita bahas di pertemuan pekan kemarin ya.
Look at each sentence and paragraph. Is there a single topic which connects them? Look at our sample text and think about these questions.
Oke, wait for a minute.
Oke, kalau gitu ya sekarang pada dan
Sebentar ya guys, aku coba
boleh
host.
ya. Aduh, habis tancap. Silakan. Ini kan yang open cam ya, Kak? Ya. Open cam teman-teman. Ayo yang cantik yang kelihatan. Saya udah gantian udah pindah ke baju. Kayak ini ada 2 halaman di aku. Jadi kayaknya aku nggak tahu nih siapa duluan. Jadi pokoknya gaya aja terus ya. Dan siapa apa ya Kak? Ya. Nah mulai ya. 1, gaya cantik. 1, 2, 3. Oke, sebentar. Aku set dulu. Halaman kedua ya. Sudah belum oke. Ayo atuh kameranya dulu. Saya nggak foto. Nah, oke Anisa. Ayo yang belum. Siapanya ada Kuni Nadia. Olivia, Kak Ayu, Kak Ilham di mana nih? Kak Cantik Mas.
Okay, so everybody, let's continue the discussion. Kita lanjutkan ya.
Pause the video if you need more reading time, and remember that you can also read it on our website. Just follow the link in the video description.
Okay, everyone, I would like to ask you to first read this passage. Jadi sekarang aku beri waktu untuk baca dulu teks yang sudah ada di screen kalian ya. Oke?
Siap.
Guys.
Teman-teman kalau misalnya nanti pas lagi webinar udah mulai, kayak jam sekarang kan ikut webinar apa, foto di post, webinar apa di foto di post. Nah, teman-teman kalau misalnya mau kayak gitu boleh banget. Jangan lupa juga kalau misalnya diupload di story kalian atau di tag kalian, tag lagi teman-teman. Oke?
Okay.
Ada hadiahnya Kak. Ada wujudnya, ada jawabnya, ada best-nya.
Have you finished?
Ada.
Guys, suaraku kedengeran gak sih?
Iya, kedengar Kak. Dikit.
Kedengeran ya? Oh, suaranya kecil ya?
Si hostnya nggak mute.
Hostnya belum aku nggak bisa mute maksudnya. Sudah ya?
Udah.
Okay, so everyone, this is the passage. Please read this first, and then we will discuss about this after you read the text. Okay, so everyone, have you finished reading this passage? Sudah selesai membacanya?
Ini langsung semua dibaca, Kak.
Iya,
Semuanya.
dibaca aja. We will discuss the text after this.
Atau dicari yang main idenya.
Nggak perlu dicari mana idenya dulu. Okay. Let's pay attention to the discussion from the speaker.
So, what do you think the main idea of our sample text is? We'll show you 3 possible summaries. Which do you think is the best? What do you think?
Okay, so everyone, these are the 3 optional summaries from that passage. The first one is this text is about Gugu Yimithir and gives some information about the history of the language and how it has changed over time. The second one, the text is about indigenous Australian languages which are spoken in Northern Australia and which are often different from European languages in interesting ways. And the last one, the text is about Gugu Yimithir. I'm afraid that I'm mistaken to pronounce this. An Australian language which is unusual because it doesn't have words for left, right, forwards, or backwards. According to you, which one of these summarizes is correct? Menurut kalian dari ketiga optional summaries ini, yang mana sih yang paling mendekati tepat? The first one, the second one, or the third one?
The second one.
Yeah, the second one.
The second one?
The second one. Yeah.
Okay, let's have the discussion. Tapi tadi di teks disebutkan bahwa ada yang unusual. An Australian language which is unusual. Ada di teks kan?
Ada.
Ada, oke. Sekarang kita lihat pembahasan.
The best is number 3. Let's see why. First, you should look at the title. The title tells you that the text will be about Gugu Imitha, but it also mentions that this language is unusual. You should immediately...
Okay, so everyone, the first main idea that you will find is Gugu Yimitir. Benar nggak kalau berdasarkan heading, berdasarkan title, itu tentang Gugu Yimitir. Tapi ternyata mostly yang dibicarakan adalah unusual dari si bahasa Gugu Yimitir ini.
Focus on this word because it shows that this language is different in some way. Also, unusual could mean many things. What does it mean here? Unusual how?
Second, what's the first sentence about? Here, it gives background information. It doesn't help you to find the main idea. That's okay. In this case, the background information is helpful because most people don't know what Gug Imdir is.
Third, what does most of the text talk about? Apart from the first sentence, every sentence is about...
Okay, so everyone, as you can see in the screen, the title is Gugu Yimithir, an unusual Australian language.
The same topic. The fact that Google Imitha uses compass directions, north, south, east, west, for directions because there are no words for left, right, and so on. This answers the question you found in the title. Why is this language unusual? Now you have a reason. However, analyzing the text in this way is complex and there are other sub-skills you might need. Let's look at an important example.
Okay, so everyone, itu yang tadi part 1, finding the main idea. Kita coba satu soal ya. Soal yang pertama. Okay, so this is the first question. What topic does the paragraph preceding the passage most likely discuss? Aku beri waktu 2-3 menit ya untuk membaca teksnya dulu ya. But don't forget about the tips yang tadi ya. Kalau ada teks, boleh dibaca kalimat pertamanya dulu atau title-nya dulu, because it might it might help you to find the main idea.
Enggak sih Kak, good quality life.
Yes, you already found it out. Langsung ketemu ya?
Iya. The
Okay.
first sentence.
Yes, the first sentence. What topic does the paragraph preceding the passage most likely discuss? The first sentence itu berarti udah masuk ke main idea. Berarti jawabannya yang A, good quality life. Okay, and next. Okay, the next question. What is the best summary of the passage? Oke, karena ini udah masuk ke summary, kita masuk ke slide yang tadi dulu ya. Tadi kan yang pertama udah tuh finding the main idea. Nah, yang kedua tadi ada apa ya? Ada yang sempat mencatat? Yang kedua di PowerPoint ada separating general ideas from details. Okay, listen up everyone.
To summarize a text, you need to find which ideas are general and which are details or examples. The general ideas will give you the overall meaning. If you confuse general ideas and details, you might misunderstand the overall meaning what you're reading.
Unfortunately, there are no clear markers which show you what's general or not. A single sentence might mix general ideas and details together. You need to use context and other clues to work out which ideas are general and which are details.
Okay, so everyone, this is a note for us. Ini catatan untuk kita bahwa dalam separating the general ideas dan juga yang details yang tadi, itu nggak ada clue yang saklek untuk menentukan apakah ini general idea-nya atau apakah ini the details-nya. Nggak ada clue yang saklek ya. Jadi kita perlu sekali membaca teksnya to know the context. Untuk mendapatkan konteks dari teks tersebut.
Look at 5 extracts from our sample text.
Okay, let's take a look at these 5 extracts of that text, dari teks yang sebelumnya.
What do you think? Are these general ideas or details? Which do you need to understand in order to find the overall meaning?
Okay, let's choose which one is the general ideas and which one is the details.
The first one is the general ideas, I think.
Okay. How
Dan yang
about the second
lainnya
one?
Dan yang lainnya teks penjelasan gitu, Kak.
The details-nya ya, dari general idea. Okay, let's read aloud one by one. Gugu Yimithir is an indigenous Australian language spoken in northern Queensland. Ini udah pasti general idea karena dia sangat umum penjelasannya. The second one, the majority of speakers live in the town of Hopeville. This is not general, so it is the detail. The language is perhaps more notable for entirely lacking ecocentric directions. And the fourth one, there are no words for left, right, backwards, or forwards. And the last one, for example. Nah, ini nih ada linking phrase namanya, for example. Biasanya kalau udah ada for example, dia masuknya ke detail, bukan general idea. But let's see the discussion.
Sentences 1, 3, and 4 are general. 2 and 5 are details.
Okay, so everyone, sentence 1, 3, and 4 are the general ideas. Nggak begitu sulit membedakannya ya. Nah, sentence 2 and 5 are details.
1 is general because it introduces the topic by giving background information. This is like a topic sentence, which tells you what the rest of the text will be about. 2 is a detail. It's more background information. You don't need it to understand the overall meaning. 3 is a general important idea. This sentence highlights the unusual feature of the Gug im Dich language. The rest of the text expands on the idea introduced in this sentence.
We said that 4 is general. However, it's kind of in the middle. It explains the exact meaning of lacking egocentric directions, which is referred to in sentence 3. Technically, this sentence isn't necessary to understand the main idea. On the other hand, most people, including educated native English speakers, wouldn't know what egocentric directions are. This sentence explains it, and so it is important for understanding the whole text. 5 is a detail. It adds an example of how Google Imitha speakers talk about position and direction, but it isn't necessary to understand the main idea of the text. So, what do you need to focus on here?
First, it's a good idea to skim a text first.
Okay, so this is the tips, everyone. The first one that you have to pay attention when you are summarizing the text is you have to skim the text first. Skimming or screening. Jadi kamu baca cepat dulu teksnya, so you will get the contextual meaning, you will get the main idea by skimming the text. Jadi pertama-tama tuh baca dulu dengan cepat tentang teksnya.
Reading fast and trying to understand the overall idea in a simple way. In order to separate general ideas from details, you need some context. Until you've read the whole thing, you won't have this. Second, look for linking phrases like for example, for instance, specifically, or in particular. Linking phrases like these show you that what follows is an explanation of a more general idea that was mentioned before.
Okay, this is important, everyone. Please take a look at the linking phrases in the passage or text. Contohnya, for example, for instance, specifically, in particular, karena kalau sudah ketemu linking phrase, kalian pasti bisa menemukan general idea-nya. Karena frasa-frasa ini, linking phrase ini, yang akan menjelaskan tentang general idea yang sebelumnya.
Third, remember that one sentence can contain both general ideas and details mixed together. For example, this sentence contains both a detail about the word kangaroo and a general point.
Okay, so this is language. In a sentence, it can consist with the general ideas and also the detail in only one sentence.
Now, why not do some more practice? Look at the rest of our sample text.
Okay, let's have a discussion of number 2. Kita coba bahas yang nomor 2. Okay, so everyone, kalau tadi bacanya belum selesai, silakan diselesaikan. Kita akan menjawab nomor 2. What is the best summary of the passage?
D nggak bisa. D.
B? Do you think it's B? Oke, sebentar. Aku coba baca lagi ya.
Kalau aku D.
Ada yang jawab B, ada yang D. Alu nama aslinya siapa, Nak? Siapa Alu?
Bulan.
Bulan. Wow, it's a beautiful name. Oke, menurut Bulan, B or D?
I think it's D.
D. Oh, okay. D. Okay, how about others?
D.
Also D.
Yes.
How about others? Okay, let's discuss one by one. Yang A. People are encouraged to do Chinese healing exercises because they provide many benefits for people's life and cost very low. Moreover, these exercises do not require special equipment, sports gear, and apparel. Do you think it's true? Based on the text? Is there any evidence? Ada buktinya nggak? Summary yang A. Do you find it? Nggak ada ya?
Nggak ada sports gear.
Okay. B. While some types of Chinese healing exercises have been considered useful, some others still need further research past justification. These exercises tend to be more detailed and complex, thus they demand much higher skills from people who want to practice them. There's no evidence ya? Yang B ya? Okay. So it's about good quality life. Yang B itu terlalu negatif. C. Despite many benefits provided by Chinese healing exercises, they are not so popular among people. Ada penjelasan nggak kalau they are not so popular among people seeking for alternative medical treatments? Have you found it? No ya?
No, nggak ada.
Okay, yang D. China's healing exercises can be a good option for those who want to improve their quality of life. Dari first sentence dari summary ini aja sudah menggambarkan bahwa ini adalah summary-nya karena dia consist of the main
Idea.
idea. China's healing exercises can be a good option for those who want to improve their quality of life. Okay, so the answer is D. Thank you for answering, Bulan and also Raja. Tadi dan lainnya juga ya yang sudah menjawab ya. Okay, the third one. It can be predicted from the passage that dapat disimpulkan dari teks tersebut bahwa A. The more people do Chinese healing exercises, the longer the time they need to master the other advanced medical, spiritual, or martial practices. Or B. The more people do Chinese advanced medical, spiritual, or martial practices, the less they need to do Chinese healing exercises. Enggak ya, karena justru yang dipromot adalah Chinese healing exercise. The more do Chinese healing exercises, the worse they will be in other advanced medical, spiritual, or martial practices. The more people do Chinese healing exercises, their overall health will be. Atau yang E, the more simple their life will be. Which one? Let's see the last one. Chinese healing exercises can amplify the benefits. Okay, so as you practice in the context, they will open targeted areas of physical. They root you more securely, thereby improving your overall performance. Biasanya dia ada di last paragraph nih, yang di predicted. So which one, everyone? A, B, C, D, or E? Which one is the answer? Yang mana ya jawabannya?
Bukan D nggak sih, Kak?
D? Do you think it's D?
D.
B?
D.
Okay, wait for a minute. Okay. They are routinely taught together with more detailed and complex practices such as Tai Chi, Qigong, and other advanced medical, spiritual, or martial practices. So, the less they need to do the Chinese healing exercise ya kalau dia sudah Have you found the evidence about the less they need to do Chinese healing exercise? Ada yang ketemu nggak? Kalau mereka lebih akan the less they need to do the Chinese healing exercise di teksnya. If you say if you use
Kayaknya nggak ada, Kak.
Nggak ada ya? Is it A? The longer the time they need to master?
No.
No? So yeah, everyone. Number 3, the more people do Chinese advanced, jadi kalau banyak yang lebih menggunakan Chinese advanced medical, spiritual, or martial practices, mereka akan lebih jarang lagi untuk bisa Chinese healing exercise because they did the Chinese advanced medical, spiritual, or martial practices. So I think the answer is B. How do you think? Yang B bukan menurut kalian?
Di paragraf mana, Kak?
The second one. Okay. The second paragraph. Chinese healing exercises make up a branch of Chinese medicine. Jadi dia masih bagian dari Chinese medicine. It is almost never taught as a separate system of healing. Rather, it is used in many practices you probably recognize. Some are part of the oldest of Chinese medical practices, including acupressure and tuina, a type of Chinese massage therapy. Others have their origins in ancient self-healing or spiritual practices, such as Chinese forms of yoga and meditation. They are routinely taught together with more detailed and complex practices. They are intended, bertujuan, to prepare a student for those more demanding disciplines. They are also conducted as adjunctive exercises that can make some aspects of the main practices easier to perform. Some sources are less well known in the West, like medical Qigong and Paidago. They are tapping and patting techniques used to break up key blockages. Menurut kalian kalau mereka menggunakan a branch up yang tadi, mereka akan lebih jarang untuk melakukan Chinese healing exercise nggak sih? The more people do Chinese advanced medical, spiritual, or martial practices, the less they need to do Chinese healing exercise. Or the more people do Chinese healing exercise, the longer the time they need to master other advanced, karena banyak tadi branch up-nya. Which one is true? Yang mana menurut kalian?
Lebih ke B sih, Kak.
B ya. Ada yang punya jawaban lain? Karena kalau yang C udah pasti enggak, yang D it could be, yang E the more people do udah pasti enggak. Karena nggak ada statement tentang itu. Or D. Do you think it's D? B or D? Predicted. Memprediksi. It can be predicted from the passage that. Ada yang jawabannya D nggak? Predicted itu seperti hypothesis. Mengira-ngira, memperkirakan. Dapat diperkirakan dari teks tersebut bahwa the more people do Chinese healing exercises, the overall health will be. Ini kayaknya typo deh.
Kayak kurang gitu Kak kalau D.
Kalau yang B, tapi the less they need to do Chinese healing exercise-nya nggak ada evidence-nya. Ya nggak sih?
Iya Kak. Nah tadi juga nggak ada.
Ya. Kalau yang they will.
Kalau yang A bisa nggak Kak?
A. The more people do Chinese healing exercises, the longer the time. Ini malah nggak ada penjelasannya. The longer the time they need to master. Dari tadi nggak ada penjelasan tentang time-nya kan?
Enggak.
Oke, tapi di main idea dia bilang, the explanation shows that the life condition is becoming more and more unconducive for good quality life. Therefore, today, more people than ever are looking for ways to improve their health. Berarti ini, teks atau passage ini memberi informasi bahwa if you still have not found something to fit your needs, jika kamu belum menemukan sesuatu yang sesuai nih sama kebutuhan kesehatan, you may want to consider Chinese healing exercises. Jadi bisa dikatakan, this text can be predicted that the more people do Chinese healing exercises, their overall health will be.
Iya, karena itu
yang paling mendekati itu ya.
Aku lihat di paragraf terakhir Kak itu ada sentence yang terakhir itu aku lihat situ kayaknya sinkron dengan jawaban D.
Yang D
Thereby
ya.
improving your overall performance.
Oke, so sepakat ya jawabannya dia. Oke, let's go to the next number. By the way, kalian di sana jam berapa sekarang?
Udah 5:30.
Oh, udah 5:30. Kamu daerah mana?
Aku Wita, Kak.
Daerah?
Makassar.
Makassar, Masya Allah. Oke, insya Allah kita nggak lebih dari 30 menit lagi ya. Oke, next. Let's read this text first. Guys, dibaca teksnya ya, tunggu sebentar ya.
Ya, Kak.
Okay, so everyone who wants to help me to read this text aloud? Any of you?
Semuanya, Kak. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Most of us have heard the good advice that we need to eat less sugar, and rightly so. However, despite and numerous warning by health and authorities of the ill effect of sugar, the majority of the population is still consuming sugar on a daily basis in some form or other. Sugar is both a broad category and a misleading one. Let's examine it for our health's sake. We do not have to consume white refined sugar to be consuming sugar. Sugar includes glucose, fructose as in fruit sugar, lactose in milk, sucrose as in table sugar, maltose or malt as in rice malt and honey. Jam contains concentrated juice, which is high in fruit sugar. Maple syrup, corn syrup, palm sugar, traditionally used in macrobiotic cooking, and the very deceiving organic brown sugar, which is not all, all that different from the white sugar. Even alcohol is a sugar. All of these sugars are problematic in many different ways. The blood changes sugar into 2 to 5 times more fat in the bloodstream than it does stretch. With 146 proven reason why sugar is bad for us, is the perhaps one single reason as to why we might need it. The only interesting thing about sugar is that it tastes good and makes us temporarily feel good. This is an area worth exploring. According to traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, 5,000 year old wisdom of self-contained knowledge of healing, we all need sweetness in our life. We need 6 states: sweet, sour, salty, astringent, bitter, and pungent, to stimulate the taste of buds on our tongue at main meals in order to experience satiety. Many people really try hard to avoid sugar and do not sweeten their tea or coffee, yet they crave sugar in some other form, such as chocolates, cakes, ice cream, or even fruit dates and figs. Dates are 99% sugar in the form of fructose. When a person is in metabolic balance, they do not crave sugar. If they do, it is a sign of metabolic imbalance and it can be corrected without having to consume sugar. Done.
Okay, thank you so much, Fadel. Okay, everyone. Let's find the position of the main idea in the first paragraph or in the last paragraph. Main idenya kira-kira ada di mana? Which one? Kalau kata yang berulang sudah pasti tentang sugar.
Sugar.
But it's not the main idea. Which one? Which one?
Yang tentang baiknya ini enggak sih, baiknya gula? Enggak.
So which one? Okay, see the last sentence of this passage. If they do, it is a sign of a metabolic imbalance and it can be corrected without having to consume sugar. So the paragraph following the passage will likely talk about tentang apa sih dari tadi tuh diomongin tentang gula. Ternyata gula itu ada banyak sekali ya. Ada glucose, fructose, lactose, sucrose, dan lain-lain. Dan kandungannya berbeda-beda. Ada yang di fruit sugar, ada yang di milk, ada yang di table sugar, rice malt, and honey. Tapi banyak sekali dari kita yang ternyata menghindari sugar dengan alasan mana tadi alasannya?
2 to 5 times more fat in the bloodstream.
Yes. Okay. Jadi banyak yang menghindari sugar, but not knowing about the definition of sugar itself. Padahal tubuh kita itu membutuhkan, we need six
Gula.
tastes. Yes. Nah, ini teksnya itu membicarakan tentang a way of remedying the metabolic inequality, ketidakseimbangan metabolik ya, metabolic imbalance atau metabolic inequality.
Berarti main idenya di akhir ya, Kak?
Betul, di the last paragraph. Coba kita lihat yang B. Details of a person with metabolic problems. Apakah membicarakan tentang a person with the metabolic problems? No.
Enggak.
A comparison of sugar contents in tea and cakes. Apakah hanya ada tea and cakes? No. Other sweetener types for replacing sugar. Apakah membicarakan tentang pemanis-pemanis lain nih yang bisa menggantikan sugar?
No.
No. Or effects of consuming too much sugar? Enggak ya, dia hanya membahas kandungan ya. Tidak membahas effects-nya apa. Okay, so the answer is A, about the metabolic inequality.
Artinya inequality apa, Kak?
Ketidakseimbangan. Sama seperti imbalance. Sama-sama. Okay, number 5. Equality itu dari kata kesetaraan. Jadi ditambahkan imbuhan in menjadi negatif, ketidaksetaraan. Proses metabolisme. Okay, number 5. The passage can be best summarized as, teks tersebut bisa disimpulkan, A, all types of sugar are problematic to human health.
Salah.
B, humans actually need sugar every day in the form of food. Dibahas the form of food-nya kah? Given the ill effect of sugar, people should avoid consuming it. Justru ini malah menjelaskan ya bahwa kandungan gula itu ada di berbagai macam. Overconsumption of sugar will impact both physically and psychologically. The only function of sugar is to satisfy our need of sweet taste. Which one, guys?
Yang A salah, yang E salah.
When a person is in metabolic balance, they do not crave sugar. If they do, it is a sign of metabolic imbalance and it can be corrected without having to consume sugar. Many people really try hard to avoid sugar and do not sweeten their tea or coffee, yet they crave sugar in some other form, such as chocolates, cakes, ice cream, or even fruit. Dates and figs. Dates are 99% sugar in the form of fructose when a person. Okay, so how do you think?
Yang D masuk nggak?
Consumption of sugar will impact both physically and psychologically. Yang psychologically-nya dibahas di mana sih?
Ininya dia bahagia gitu. Nggak cuman ini juga sih. Nggak cuman sugar doang sih ya.
Nggak apa-apa, ini kan lagi bahas sugar. Jadi, wait. The only interesting thing about sugar is that it tastes good and makes us temporarily feel good. Nah, itu psychologically-nya tuh.
Nah, ya itu.
Yeah. Okay, so the answer is D. D. Okay, number 6. Based on the passage, it can be hypothesized that we will feel full if, dari passage yang tadi, kita bisa hypothesis, itu menduga, kita bisa menduga bahwa kita akan merasa penuh. We will feel full if there is sugar in the food, we eat or drink something sweet, alcohol is served during mealtime, tastes in the food complement each other, our body suffers from metabolic imbalance.
E. I think it's E.
I.
Our body suffers from metabolic imbalance.
Our
Ada masuk
body
situ sih.
suffers from
Metabolic
metabolic
Imbalance.
imbalance. All right. Number 7. Langsung dibacakan kayak tadi Fadel aja kali ya, biar kita baca bersama ya. Ada yang mau bantu? Anyone please help me to read this passage.
Aku aja, Kak.
Boleh. Bulan, silakan.
Stretching more than 2,300 kilometers along Queensland's coastline and covering 35 million hectares. The Great Barrier Reef is the world's largest coral reef and probably the richest. More than 500 species of fish, 400 species of mollusks, 400 species of sponge, and 300 species of hard corals live there. The reef is Queensland's first World Heritage Area. It is very important to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people with significant cultural sites on many of its islands. The reef is very important in other ways. The World Heritage Area is worth some 5.4 billion to the Australian economy. As many as $3.5 billion of that amount goes into the local towns and communities bordering the reef. Recent research published by the Australian Institute of Marine Science has found two primary factors that have caused a very significant decline in coral cover over the last 30 years or so. They are extreme weather and the crown of thorn starfish. The same research is telling us that coral cover north of Cooktown is generally stable, but the southern area is experiencing major losses. The risk complexities are well described in the 2013 Scientific Consensus Statement. The science contribute to the updated Reef Water Qualifier Protection Plan. The Reef Plan, the plan is state and federal initiative designed to stop and reverse the decline in reef water quality. The consensus statement confirms the major cause of coral cover loss is extreme weather events, such as cyclones. Clearly, we are not able to influence such events. The second Great Barrier Reef report card confirms that management changes and weather quality improvement are tracking positively, but more needs to be done. The report was released in July 2013 and based on 2011 Paddock to Reef monitoring program data. The Queensland and Australian governments, together with industry, regional bodies, and conservation groups, will continue working hard to maintain progress toward reef plan targets. We want to be sure that the reef has the best possible opportunity to recover from cyclone, damage, and crown of thorns starfish attacks. Udah.
Okay, thank you so much, Bulan. Wow, you have a good pronunciation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so everyone, what does this text tell about? Tentang apa sih teks ini? Bahasanya agak asing ya?
Agak sulit dimengerti ininya.
Iya, betul. This is the information text, informative text. Ini teks informasi, berisikan banyak sekali data di sini, ada banyak sekali angka. Ini membahas tentang the reef is Queensland's first World Heritage Area. Di sini bahas batu karang, ada bahasa apa lagi tuh? The government is actually protecting this reef, and what else? With the industry, regional bodies, and conservation groups will continue working hard to maintain progress towards reef plan targets. Reef plan itu gimana sih bentuknya? Aku jadi penasaran. Coba sambil aku cari ya. Okay, a reef plan. Okay, so here we go. This is the form of the reef plain, everyone. Can you see the screen I'm sharing to you?
Yes.
Oke, jadi seperti ini bentuknya ya, reef-nya. Dia apa sih batu karang bawah itu ya? The Great Barrier Reef. Programnya pemerintah Australia ya. All right, let's move to the question. Okay, number 7. What can be inferred from the passage? The Great Barrier Reef is under threat of nature. Australian economy is attacked by cyclone and starfish. The other main resource influencing the reef is seawater quality. Scientists expect the reef has no power to recover naturally. The decline of the Great Barrier Reef initiates the research on climate. Which one is the answer? What can be inferred?
Invert itu kebalikan bukan? Apa gimana?
Invert itu dapat disimpulkan.
Oh,
Dapat disimpulkan dari teks tersebut. Apa yang dapat disimpulkan dari teks tersebut?
yang di
Para scientist expect the reef has the power to recover naturally.
di cover sama ini ya, movement ya? Kan bukan.
Recover itu maksudnya dia bisa tumbuh sendiri secara naturally. Oke, sambil kita cari evidence-nya ya, buktinya ya, bukti dari jawabannya. The reef is very important in other ways. The World Heritage Area is worth Australia economy as many billion of the demand goes to the local towns and communities bordering the reef. Yang B udah bukan ya? Australian economy is attacked by cyclone and starfish. Seawater dibahas nggak? Seawater. The other main resource influencing the reef is seawater quality.
Enggak ya, kan bahas ini, bahas sekarang ya.
Yang ada
Yes. Yes, only water. The second Great Barrier Reef report card confirms that management change and water quality improvements are tracking positively, but more needs to be done. Okay, others? The decline of the Great Barrier Reef initiates the research on climate. The reef's complexities are well described in 2013 scientific consensus statement. The science contributed to the updated Reef Water Quality Protection Plan. The plan is a state and federal initiative designed to stop and reverse the decline in reef water quality. Do you think the answer is E?
Dari paragraf mana, Kak?
The reef's complexities are well described. Wait. Tadi aku baca yang mana sih? Oh, the plan is a state. The fourth one. 1, 2, 3, 4. The reef's complexities are well described in 2013 scientific consensus statement. The science contributed to the updated Reef Water Quality Protection Plan. The plan is a state and federal initiative designed to stop and reverse the decline in reef water quality. The consensus statement confirms the major cause of coral cover loss is extreme weather events such as cyclones. Clearly, we are not able to influence such events. The research on climate. Iya nggak sih, karena the decline of the Great Barrier Reef itu memicu penelitian-penelitian lain on climate-nya.
Masuk sih, Kak.
Ya, Kak, ya. Kalau menurut saya sih pas.
Kalau menurut saya sih pas. Apanya ini yang pas?
Statement-nya, Kak.
Oke. Misalnya kan Anisa tagline. Ya, karena yang lain nggak ada yang tepat ya. There's no evidence. Yang di scientists expect the reef has the power to recover naturally. Ada penjelasannya nggak? Recover naturally. We want to be sure that the reef has the best possible opportunity to recover, bukan hanya naturally. Tapi di sini di last statement-nya, we want to be sure that the reef has the best possible, kemungkinan terbaik untuk recover from the cyclone. Jadi nggak mengharapkan para saintis untuk recover-nya naturally. So the answer is iya.
Iya, Kak.
Okay, number 8. Okay, number 8. Iya. Itu suaranya siapa ya?
Apa tuh suaranya?
Guys. Itu suaranya siapa ya?
Suaranya Yulia, tapi nge-lag jaringannya.
Oh, okay. Yulia, do you want to say something? Okay. Let's go to the number 8. The sentence, the reef is Queensland's first World Heritage Area, is closest in the meaning to the Great Barrier Reef is future legacy of the Queensland. Okay. Heritage area, what does it mean?
Warisan ya.
Betul. Kita lihat makna lainnya ya. Sebentar.
Bukan, Kak.
Heritage warisan.
Iya betul, Nak. Iya betul. Sebentar. Aku sambil buka yang English dictionary, so you get the wide meaning of heritage. Okay. Can you see the screen I'm sharing to you?
No.
Belum, Kak, belum.
Belum kebuka ya? Okay. Heritage. Features belonging to the culture of a particular society, such as traditions, languages, or buildings which still exist from the past and which have a historical importance. So this is the meaning of heritage. Sekarang kita lihat ke soalnya. Udah dapat ya maknanya ya, features belonging to the culture of a particular society, such as traditions, languages, buildings. Dia mencakup apapun, bisa tradisi, language, building yang sifatnya diturunkan, which still exist from the past, yang masih ada dari peninggalan zaman sebelumnya, which have a historical importance. So everyone, the closest meaning to this one is the Great Barrier Reef is future legacy of the Queensland people. The optimum exploration of the reef should benefit the Queensland. Ini udah enggak yang B. Coral reef should be preserved. Preserved to the purpose of the future legacy. Preserving the Great Barrier Reef becomes the world's responsibility. Local government are given responsibility to manage the reef benefits. What does it mean?
Aku antara A dengan D sih.
A and D.
Aku megang A.
A and D.
D,
Karena
Kak.
ini sifatnya heritage, harapannya menjadi future legacy ya of the Queensland people. But do you think it is heritage, future legacy of the Queensland people? Yeah. Okay, so the answer is A. Karena nggak mungkin bahas yang mana-mana ya. Coral Reef, local government. Alright. Oke guys, karena waktunya sebentar lagi, teks yang ini kita simpan dulu ya. In Europe's building. Oh, this is history. Kita lanjut ke... Oh, oke. Ini. Number 12. Ada 3 nomor yang kita skip. Insya Allah kita bahas di pertemuan yang akan datang ya. Number 12. Based on the passage, the word harnessing in line 22 means, nah kalau soalnya seperti nomor 12, kemudian seperti nomor 13, kita nggak perlu baca semua teksnya, cukup satu kalimat yang ada kata yang di bold dan juga di italic aja ya. Okay, number 12. Survey research confirms, however, the interest in harnessing social networking for educational purposes is high. The interest in harnessing social networking. What does it mean by harnessing?
Memanfaatkan.
Memanfaatkan. Atau aku share Cambridge. Kelihatan nggak sama kalian?
Belum, Kak.
Kelihatan ya?
Belum.
Oh, belum. Okay, wait. Oh, harnessing justru nggak kedetek kalau di Cambridge. Oke, kalau harnessing in bahasa itu memanfaatkan. Berarti lebih dekat kemana? Engaging, minimizing, improving, utilizing, or avoiding?
Utilizing.
Oke, memanfaatkan utilize ya. Berarti sama dengan utilize. Oke, kalau engaging apa sih? Kalau engaging apa guys? Engage. Menarik, menyatukan, apa lagi tuh?
Memikat.
Minimizing. Minimizing justru dia
Menarik,
mempersempit.
menawan.
Menarik, menawan. Oke, kalau minimizing justru dia memperkecil atau mempersempit ya. Kalau improving dia meningkatkan, avoiding menghindar. Jadi jawaban yang tepat adalah utilizing. Dia surrounding, memanfaatkan. Okay, number 13. Okay, universities in Australia have been welcoming international students for more than a century, and today most campuses boast an ethnic mix in the student body of 50 or more nationalities. Jadi, universitas di Australia itu ternyata sangat menyambut pelajar-pelajar internasional. Dan sekarang banyak sekali kampus-kampus boast an ethnic. Boast itu seperti apa ya? Membanggakan. Ya, betul, membanggakan, terus lebih ke menunjukkan the ethnic mix in the student body. Jadi boast ini gitu ya? Iya, proud. Dia kayak pride. Jadi kayak apa? Promote, praise. Okay. So everyone, that's all for today's lesson. Masih ada 3 nomor yang belum kita bahas. Ada 1 teks tadi. Sepertinya waktunya akan mepet maghrib. Jadi aku cukupkan, nggak apa-apa ya.
Iya Kak, di sini udah mau azan.
Oh gitu, oke. Can we take a picture together before we close our lesson today?
Yes,
Kalian mau
why
nggak
not?
menyalakan kamera? Aku foto ya. Oke. Udah nih nggak ada lagi yang mau nyalain kamera.
Kamera aku agak buram, Kak.
It's okay. Halo.
Kameraku mau nyala.
Ih, seneng
Kelihatan
banget.
nggak, Kak?
Bisa, kelihatan. Seneng banget bisa lihat wajah-wajah pejuang SBMPTN, Masya Allah. Iya nggak sih kalian? Emang mau masuk SBM kan?
Iya, Kak.
Iya. Mau masuk
Udah,
universitas
Kak, udah
mana
beres.
rata-rata?
Kok aku nggak
Udah
kelihatan
baik
ya, Kak, gambar-gambarnya?
Kelihatan kok. Oke, aku hitung sampai 3 ya. 1, 2, 3. Ya, Devia, kamu kenapa matiin lagi kameranya? Devia? Mau ikutan nggak? Oke.
Kak, aku off cam karena lagi ngendong ponakan.
Oh iya, oke. Oke, yuk. Fadel, kamu nggak mau nyalin kamera? Anissa, Adisti.
Kamera aku
Oke.
buram, Kak. Next time
Oke.
aja, next time.
1, 2, 3. I guess so, everyone. That's all our lesson today. Thank you for participating on Zoom. Di sini hujan kok, jadi on cam sinyalnya kurang stabil. Oke. Kalau gitu mari sama-sama kita tutup dengan membaca hamdalah. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Alhamdulillah. Terima kasih, Kak.
Sama-sama. Sampai jumpa lagi. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.